and Jim! Wow, so it's doggone hot in here, isn't it? My goodness. You guys are all fired up. Outstanding. So I have to admit that I was pretty nervous. This is the first time I've done this, right? And so I've never won an election before. But it's by the grace of God and your hard work that we're here today. And I went to sleep last night, and some of you guys sent me notes that you're praying for a good night's sleep. And I'll tell you, I slept like a stone last night. I slept like a doggone log, which is amazing. But the first thing that I heard this morning when I woke up is, the Lord is God. The victory is His. So the Lord called this race long before Gong were an AP. Because that's what truly matters. And I'm so thankful to Him for the strength that He's given me, for the strength that He's given my beautiful wife and the amazing team that He's blessed me with. And I also want to thank the President and the Vice President of the United States. President Trump, if you're listening, thank you. I'm looking forward to making sure that we can serve all Americans, particularly Michiganders, supporting your agenda to make sure we keep growing this economy and making sure we continue to secure our borders and defend our Constitution. Mr. President, thank you. I'd also like to thank the staff and the team members here at JGI. You do such an amazing job keeping this thing rolling. You're going to make it hard to... It's like you're trying to get rid of me or something. Don't answer that question. We also have something else too. Bob Sanborn, where you at? Bob. All right, I need your help here. Ready? Happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. The team here, our grassroots army, has been amazing. 35,000 strong and growing. We got the new numbers. Apparently, we're approaching the 100,000s. This army is growing because we're now a team moving forward to take on Senator Stabenow. You're going to hear me saying again that I'm just a candidate. You are the ones who are going to be Senator Stabenow. My staff has been amazing. The team that my campaign managers put together has been absolutely incredible. And all the volunteers who are working so hard. I'm not going to name names because I'm going to feel like a total loser if I miss anybody. But thank you all so much for coming together. And finally, I want to thank my beautiful, amazing, awesome, long-suffering, patient wife, Elizabeth. I don't consider myself the most persuasive person, but I persuaded this angel to marry me and to also go on this run with me. And I also persuaded her to grow our family. And we have an announcement today. So we're very happy to announce that we have a third on the way. And so this was going to be a victory party, however you sliced it. Now, there's also something that we're going to do together, because we're on the same team. You know, we did 100 videos in 100 days. I truly believe that transparency, authenticity, being genuine, and we've opened our homes to you. We've opened our lives to you, and we're going to share a little bit of something today. There's only one person in this whole room, and they're watching, who knows what we're having. And so now we're going to find out together. Honey, are we having a boy or a girl?
Are you sure you want to know? We're really good at making boys.
Outstanding. So now that I've ended her suffering for now, I'm really extremely encouraged by everyone here. You said I had what, 45 minutes? 40 seconds. All right. Really encouraged by how many people both know about our campaign and are excited about the campaign. A police officer who's never given to a political campaign before he saw me gave. A farmer who feels like he doesn't have a senator who can really talk to and work with our president to get things back for his farm. A veteran who feels like he's used as a prop and forgotten in the other 6 years. We have college students who feel like nobody in Washington is listening to them because the progressive liberal ideology has so permeated the college campus that people feel shamed into silence. Our army of 35,000 donors and hundreds of thousands of supporters now moving forward are going to make sure that we surmount this next test. We have been truly blessed, and I'm so excited to fight for our values, faith and family, God and country, and service before self. These aren't just conservative values. These are American values. These are Michigan values. And that's how I run the campaign. Understanding this, I don't have a black message. I don't have a white message. I have a message of unity. This is a Michigan message. This is an American message. This is a freedom message. This is a message of experience, empathy, energy. This is what people truly want to hear, what we need in Washington. I'm a West Point graduate, a combat veteran, and a job creator who knows how to keep Americans safe and create economic opportunity because I've done both before. The answer isn't more government regulation. It's getting the government out of the way, lowering our taxes. People don't want free stuff. They want a fair shot. We all want the same thing. We want results for Michigan, opportunity for Michigan. And Debbie Stabenow and I just disagree how to get there. She believes that you need to have $15 per hour for things, and rather than telling our children they should settle for $15 an hour, I'm about teaching them how to make $1,500 an hour. Why aren't we teaching our kids how to continue to compete and win? That's what we should be focusing on education and the economy. I recently, this past May, went to the NAACP dinner. And a lady from Detroit told me that she's been in Detroit for 45 years and she's felt used by the Democratic Party. Another one said she's never split a ticket before, but she's excited to finally have a good conservative to vote for. When folks get to know me, this candidacy will be viewed with hope for the GOP rather than hate. African American leadership in both parties is how we change things. Right now we have a situation where neither party has to work for our vote, and that doesn't work for me, that doesn't work for Detroit, that doesn't work for Michigan, and that doesn't work for America. Now I give Mayor Duggan a lot of credit for Detroit's comeback, but he will agree that Detroit's comeback is unsustainable if these positive economic impacts are not also felt in our neglected neighborhoods and our forgotten farms. We need to make sure that we focus on our economy to make sure that everybody can rise, that the rising tide lifts all ships. And we're not just talking about knee-jerk raising the tax rate, but we're increasing the tax base. We're increasing the way that people can get good jobs and they can pay into the system. More taxpayers, less tax takers, because people have better jobs. People can feed their families. People in Saginaw, Detroit, Flint, Benton Harbor have someone fighting for them here and in Washington, making sure they have the economic opportunity for their quality of life right now and the quality of future for their children. Debbie Stabenow has turned her back on all of Michigan, and whether you're talking about suburbs or rural or urban Michigan, she's failed all of us. The progressive agenda pits whites against blacks. It pits haves against the have-nots. It pits left against right. We are all American.
Yeah.
We are all American. This model relies on victimhood. It relies on the government being the solution and the provider for everything. It relies on the individual being the victim. Under the democratic system, the federal government is the cause and the cure for our pain. This is the same system where some folks will dismiss rural whites as deplorable and urban blacks as disposable. I say that we deserve better. My father and my mother, thank you. My father and my mother taught me much different. These are folks who, like many of you, many of us, immigrated to this state from all over the country and from all over the world to have economic opportunity. This is the birthplace of the middle class. This is the home of the American dream. And there are too many people, regardless of what you look like or what side of the state you live on, who feel like the American dream is only reserved for the coastal elites.
Yes.
These are the same people who are telling us that 2% growth was going to be the new normal and that manufacturing and agriculture was for the 19th century. We rejected that as false, and our president has helped grow our economy 4.1% last quarter, projecting 4.5 next quarter. This is what we care about, growing and protecting Michigan jobs. And I understood that this country is amazing. You are a part of the 1% if you have the blessing to win the lottery of being born in this country. You are a part of the 1% if you are a part of the folks who were born in this country. The 1% of people who have been born in this country who breathe free, who live not in tyranny, who've had the opportunity to live in the Constitution, who have the opportunity to live here. We need to make sure we protect that so everybody can have access to the American dream. Because in this country, for its warts, is the best country on the face of the planet. Where people live in the My parents taught me something very important. They taught me how to depend on myself, on my neighbors, and on my God. My father was born in 1941 in Starkville, Mississippi, lived directly across the street from Mississippi State University, and couldn't go there because he was black. But he refused to accept dependency as his destiny. He refused to be a victim. In the toughest of circumstances, he made no excuse. He worked his way through to college. He served his country honorably in Vietnam. He came back and worked for Chrysler because this is where you came to get a job. You certainly didn't come to Michigan for the weather. This is the place where he came, and because he wanted better, because he wanted more, and in this country you can get more if you work hard, he worked his way through. He started his side hustle with a truck, a trailer, and no excuses with a partner, hauling beer back and forth between Michigan and Wisconsin. He was able to grow what you see here. He was able to start this because he had a dream. He had a dream, and he had an amazing wife to help him support that dream and move it forward. And right now, because in this country, if you work hard and you take little help and you rely on your neighbors, you can do great things. We don't have to rely on our federal government for everything. And I believe that if we continue to support each other, that's the way forward. I'm a job creator who understands economic opportunity. I've competed on a global marketplace and we've won. We understand that jobs are part of the solution, but they're not the only solution. We need to take a look at what it takes to have that economic opportunity. We need to take a look at what it takes looking at K through 12 development, early childhood development, upskilling our existing labor force, workforce development, criminal justice reform, and rolling back harmful regulations that hurt business growth and opportunity. We also need to take a look at getting fans in here next time. My goodness. Hey, you know, if you can have a little bit of fun, man, why are we here, right? Only 17 more pages.
Hey, hurry up!
Hurry up, bro. So these things that we're talking about, you're not going to get from a 43-year politician. She's had her chance. The time is up. You have politicians in Washington who say they're trying to keep the nation safe, and they've never served anything but their own interests. Who don't understand national security from a strategic to a tactical standpoint. We need more combat veterans on the floor of the U.S. Senate who understand how to keep this nation safe. You're not going to get that from a 43-year politician.
No, sir.
We also need to do a better job reintegrating our veterans back into the workforce. The toughest battles that our veterans face shouldn't be when they get off the battlefield. We need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to take care of our veterans. This is something they've earned. Senator Stabenow says she's a friend of veterans. But we've been at war for a decade and a half, and we still haven't welcomed our Vietnam vets properly.
Yes.
We have 670,000 veterans in this state, and we need to do better. Our veterans are not a political prop. They are my brothers and sisters. I will make sure that I serve my veterans honorably as they deserve. So, they said a bunch of things. The political pundits are going to get this, and they're going to chop it up, and it's going to be fun, right? This is when the fun starts. That's when the fun starts. But they said that Hillary Clinton could beat Bernie Sanders in Michigan. They were wrong. They said John Kasich would beat Donald Trump in Michigan. They were wrong. They said Hillary Clinton would destroy Donald Trump, and some even put in the headlines, but they were wrong. They were wrong. And they're wrong about Debbie Stabenow. There are no unsinkable ships. There are no unwinnable wars, and there are no unbeatable senators. When the pundits tell her she has too much money, you tell them that I have you. I'm just the candidate. You are the only ones who can beat Debbie Stabenow. Thank you. Thank you. And part of the reason is we're ready for a change. We're ready for fresh perspective, energetic leadership, passion for service, and someone who can get results. I will put my past 18 years against her 18 years any day. In the past 18 years, Senator Stabenow has authored, or sponsored, or whatever, I don't know the politicalese that they say, but basically she's done nothing. Seven bills in the law, and 5 of them were to rename buildings. You tell me how that serves Michiganders. You tell me how that benefits. Voting with Chuck Schumer 95% of the time. You tell me how that serves Michiganders. Right now, we find ourselves at a critical time in our nation's history, with Michigan again playing a critical role in shaping its future. What will it take to make America great again? The biggest part of the solution, I believe, is leadership. Passionate, proven, relevant, authentic leadership. Many years ago, American writer David Foster Wallace offered an interesting definition of real leaders. They are people, Wallace wrote, who help us overcome the limitations of our own individual laziness and selfishness and weakness and fears, and get us to do better, harder things than we would have done on our own.
Our wife!
Real leadership is needed in Washington, not just to accomplish the president's agenda, but in order to ensure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. American exceptionalism is not an entitlement. American exceptionalism is earned. There was a time in America when we stood up for what was right without any sort of political motivation or reservation. We waged war on evil, not on each other. We put service before self. We dared greatly. We spent wisely. We loved deeply. And a man's word was his bond. Men were gentlemen. Women were ladies. We dared greatly. We spent wisely. We didn't expect the federal government to solve all our problems. The problems that our states and our families and our neighbors could solve, and our communities could solve for each other. We sacrificed, we put our money where our mouths were. We built skyscrapers, we put a man on the moon. We fed the world and saved Europe twice. This is what our president means when he talks about making America great again. He's talking about dreaming big again. He's talking about doing the hard things again. He's talking about a time when America strived for greatness. We didn't accept mediocrity from ourselves or from our leaders. We learned from our history. We didn't try to erase it. It didn't make us feel discriminated against. We learned from it and moved on. We didn't resign ourselves to victimhood, and we weren't so doggone quick to get offended. We were able to do all these things because we believe more in each other than the federal government. The ties that bind us are right here. We have to have the drive to do the hard things. That's what drives me every single day. But for 43 years, Debbie Stabenow has avoided doing the hard things. For 43 years as an elected official. For 20 years, she's been representing Michigan and Washington. She hasn't even been able to do the hard things or the easy things. She's playing she's playing us. They're playing us. They're playing the haves against the haves not. They're playing us against each other, and the only ones who win. You take a look. You walk out here on your way back home. There's still trees growing through buildings and wild dogs running around the street, and she's kept her job. If any of you went to your boss tomorrow, some of you work here, so don't. If any of you went to your boss tomorrow and said, I'm going to resist because I don't agree with you, I don't like you, you'd be out on your tail. Well, in November this year, you have a chance to put Debbie Stabenow on her tail. She supports policies that propagate victimhood. And we need to break the chains of dependency that shackle the minds and the upward mobility of the socioeconomically disadvantaged all over the state of Michigan by focusing on our economy and focusing on things that bring us together, not that drive us apart. Identity politics is an enemy of the state. Identity politics is an enemy of the Constitution of the United States of America. At West Point, I took an oath not to lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. My word is my bond. And I make this commitment to you as your U.S. Senator. I will deliver results to you. Farmers deserve better. Small businesses deserve better. Parents and college students deserve better. Our teachers deserve better. Our first responders and policemen deserve better. Police women as well. Our first responders. 43 years of Debbie Stabenow has not been working for us, not for any of us. So we need something new. We need fresh blood. We need a new perspective. We need a clarity of vision in Washington. We need somebody who can bring this to us in Michigan. They told me I couldn't get into West Point. They told me we couldn't compete in the global marketplace. They were wrong. By hard work and the grace of God, we need to get this thing done. She has been talking about Canadian trash for years, and they're still dumping Canadian trash here in Washington. She's been talking about our Great Lakes for years, and there's still Asian carp DNA in the Chicago River. Debbie Stabenow has been living on the taxpayer dime for 43 years with nothing to show for it. Well, I'll tell you what, she's in for the fight of her life in this fall. She's got $12 million, and we're going to make her spend every red penny of it. I'm John James. I'm a job creator. I'm a veteran. I'm ready to get the job done. I love you. God bless you. Glory to God.